Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Before I begin, here are my disclaimers. Today I am going to give you an update about MOONLAKE IMMUNOTHERAPEUTICS quarterly report. MOONLAKE Immunotherapeutics offers a range of businesses and services focused on developing therapies for inflammatory skin and joint diseases. Their primary service includes developing sonelokimab, a novel trispecific IL-17A and IL-17F inhibiting nanobody treatment options for various inflammatory diseases, including plus hidradenitis suppurativa, plus psoriatic arthritis, plus axial spondyloarthritis, plus palmoplantar pustulosis, plus psoriasis. MOONLAKE Immunotherapeutics stock price crash. A tale of disappointing clinical trial. Results: the stock price of MOONLAKE Immunotherapeutics plummeted by 85–90% on September 29, 2025. Following the announcement of mixed and disappointing results from its Phase 3 clinical trials for sonelokimab. Despite technically achieving primary endpoints, the efficacy of sonelokimab was not as compelling as investors had hoped, particularly when compared to UCB's Bimzelx. The VEL-AMINUS-2 trial showed a higher-than-expected placebo response rate, causing it to miss its endpoint. Analyst downgrades and reduced price targets further exacerbated the stock's decline, resulting in billions of dollars lost in market capitalization. A securities class action lawsuit was subsequently initiated, alleging that MOONLAKE had provided misleading information to investors about sonelokimab's trial design and efficacy data. The primary drivers of revenue growth or decline in a company's financial performance can be identified through various factors. Revenue growth is primarily driven by the successful development and commercialization of key products, such as SLK, which has received regulatory approval from the FDA and has seen market acceptance and reimbursement. Milestone payments from partners and royalties on net sales also contribute to revenue growth. On the other hand, revenue decline can be attributed to a lack of revenue generation in certain periods, decreases in other income due to interest and currency losses, and significant losses incurred by the company. The ability to obtain future financing, performance of third-party contractors, and potential for future revenue from product sales are neutral factors that do not directly impact revenue growth or decline. In summary, successful product development and commercialization, regulatory approvals, market acceptance, and partnerships with key stakeholders are key drivers of revenue growth, while a lack of revenue generation, decreases in other income, and significant losses can lead to revenue decline. Net income has experienced a decline of $167.3 million for the 9 months ended September 30, 2025, indicating a downward trend. The company's operating losses are expected to persist for at least 2 years, further exacerbating this decline. Profit margins have also been negatively impacted by significant expenses and operating losses, which are projected to continue for at least the next 2 years. Additionally, the threat of tariffs and potential retaliatory measures is likely to lead to a decrease in profit margins. The company's financial performance indicates a significant issue with its ability to generate positive operating cash flow. Despite the absence of explicit data on net cash provided by operating activities, the clear indication from page 63 is that the company has used -$137,213,000 in operating activities for the year 2025. This substantial negative figure suggests that the company is struggling to produce sufficient cash from its core operations, raising concerns about its financial sustainability and ability to meet its obligations. The company's debt level and interest expenses have undergone significant changes in recent years. Debt level. The company's long-term debt has increased substantially from $0 to $73,741, while total liabilities have risen by a staggering 400% from $24,542 to $123,144. This indicates a substantial increase in the company's financial obligations. Interest expenses. Consequently, interest expenses have also seen a significant surge. Cash paid for interest has increased from $0 to $2,871, and interest expense has jumped from $0 to $3.2 million, representing a 100% change. Furthermore, interest expense has risen by another $5,254,000, resulting in a total of $5.3 million in interest expenses for the year. Overall, these changes suggest that the company's debt level and interest expenses have increased significantly, indicating a substantial shift in its financial situation. Management is projecting significant losses for the next 2 years as they focus on developing and commercializing sonelokimab, SLK, for inflammatory diseases. To achieve this goal, they plan to invest in regulatory submissions, potential commercialization, and clinical trials. In the long term, they expect to submit a BLA for SLK in 2026 and launch commercially in the U.S. in 2027. The company will finance operations through various means, including equity sales, debt financings, collaborations, strategic partnerships, or grants. Concerns about inventory buildup. Emerge Our financial summary reveals growing concerns about inventory buildup, a trend that began to manifest in the third quarter of 2025. The company has been stockpiling drug substance, which is reflected in increased manufacturing, supply, and logistics expenses through contract manufacturing organizations, CMOs. Specifically, we see a $13.4 million increase in these costs, directly related to producing pre-launch inventory. Furthermore, inventory buildup is explicitly mentioned as an expense item on multiple occasions, totaling $2.9 million. This suggests that the company is actively managing its inventory levels, which may indicate ongoing needs for efficient supply chain management. While there are no concerns about supply chain disruption, the accumulation of inventory raises questions about the company's ability to manage its stockpiles effectively. That concludes the financial summary for MOONLAKE IMMUNOTHERAPEUTICS. Feel free to comment below, and I will be happy to answer them when possible.